What's up, guys? Esty here, back with another video. Today we have another 2022 NFL mock draft with potentially a new number one overall pick, as you probably saw in the title. Um, you can take a wild swing about who that is in this thumbnail right here. Um, you know, you make your guess. I made a new template for you guys, so I hope you really enjoy that because it did take a while to make, but I think it was definitely worth the time. I think I'm gonna keep using this one. It's a nice orange color with some good texture in it as well. So yeah, I hope you guys like this new little backdrop I made for the mock draft. Um, you can skip to your pick if you want, but I'd recommend you watch the whole video so you see lead ups. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's go. I made a new template, as you can see, if you've watched my channel before, and I think it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna have the picks appear in the middle of your screen, right around in this area here. So let's get it going. At number one, as you've seen from the thumbnail and probably from the title, there's a new number one overall pick, and I want you to subscribe first. I'm just kidding. I honestly forgot that was there. I just put that in. But yeah, make sure to subscribe. I think I'm at 38 right now. I'm trying to get to 40 by the end of the month. Maybe even 50. That would be awesome. And yeah, that would help me out a lot. So if you could please do that, that would be great. Now to the number one overall pick. Yeah. So as you saw from the thumbnail, I have a new one. It's going to be Ikemi Kwonu, tackle out of NC State. A lot of people have Evan Neal as number one now, and I totally see that. In fact, I've done it in plenty of my recent mock drafts. However, here I'm gonna go a little bit different because I feel like Ikemi Kwonu is just as good as Evan Neal, and I feel like for me they're interchangeable. And if Ikemi Kwonu is better than Evan Neal, which I'm not saying he is, by the way, then why can't he go at number one? So I have him going at number one here. Number two overall, I have the Lions taking AIDAN Hutchinson, edge out of Michigan. This is a little bit of an interesting pick because Evan Neal's off the board. I think that for Detroit, AIDAN Hutchinson is the best player in the class. So I think that if they were at number one, they'd take him. If they're at number two, they'd take him. Three, they'd take him. So that's just my thoughts for that. Now, actually, I have some fantasy mock drafts, or they have trades, but I sort of go a little bit crazy in them. So if you want to see that, you can check it out. But I'm thinking, let me know, because I'm definitely gonna get hate for it, like I already know. But I'm thinking of taking David Ojabo at number like 2 or number 3, depending on who goes. So that could be something interesting, but hopefully not too bad. Anyway, number 3. So yeah, check this out if you want to. Number 3, I have Kayvon Thibodeaux, edge out of Oregon, going to the Texans. The Texans just need a spark, and if Kayvon Thibodeaux can be what J.J. Watt used to be in his prime, that would give them so much help. And no offense to Texans fans, right? But like your team is kind of garbage right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you just get some help on defense, I think it won't be too bad because you do have, some potential talent with Davis Mills. If you want to trade back and take a quarterback, you could, but I think Davis Mills deserves another year for being a third-round pick. But yeah, help out. That being said, help out the defense. That edge rusher position is so crucial, and if you can get somebody as talented as Kayvon Thibodeaux, who could be the best player in the class, I think why not? I think he's so good. Now in this draft, just quick little thing. I didn't realize this until way later, but I kept picking and one player just kept falling off the board. You'll know who it is when I pick them, and you're going to be like, wait a minute, how the heck did they fall this far? And I totally understand your opinion, but I'm not doing it. It's not that pick yet because he fell so far. But Evan Neal, tackle Alabama, going to the Jets. This is a lot of talking in this video, and I'm not that mad about it because I do like talking. But yeah, Evan Neal, tackle Alabama. Potential to go at 1, obviously. Potential to go at 3 as well to the Texans. In fact, in this situation, I think he probably should. But in this spot, I just went with Kayvon Thibodeaux before. Now, Evan Neal is really, really good. Probably better technically with his hands than Icky is. But Yeah, I think actually at this spot potentially, I didn't do it this time, but if Evan Neal's available, they still might not take him, and they might take like Charles Cross just because he's a probably better player for the Jets system. But I think this is the best pick in this spot. Moving on to number 5 and the Giants. Now this is 5 is the weirdest pick in the draft because usually in most mocks the top 2 edges and top 2 tackles are off the board. So for me here, it's either between Charles Cross or a quarterback, because they said that Daniel Jones would stay, but they also said Joe Judge would stay, and that promise was broken. He left. They brought in the Bills guy. His name isn't coming to me. And they also have a Bills general manager now. So I think they're going to be pretty good, and I think they should keep Daniel Jones, but I think it's potentially his time to go. The reason I say they should keep him is because he has a very oddly similar sort of, what's the word, like resemblance of Josh Allen with, obviously not the cannon that Josh Allen has, but like is physically gifted with his feet. He can run with the ball pretty easily and just as good as arguably anybody in the NFL. At quarterback, I mean, not like Lamar Jackson or anybody like that, but I think he's very comparable to Josh Allen, so you could see some more designed runs with him. Anyway, I like what the Giants are doing. So to add on with that, to help him out, protect Daniel Jones, I have him taking Charles Cross, tackle out of Mississippi State. Obviously, he's an insane player. He can even slide inside and play guard as well. Yes, so he's extremely talented, and he'll help out this Giants team a ton. And I'm really looking forward to watching their games if they ever show up on TV for me because, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited for that. Yeah, who knows? I mean, that team could turn around fairly quickly with the right picks, which hopefully I'm going to be giving them in this draft. Yeah, I'm not a Giants fan, by the way. I'm a Patriots fan. Panthers up next. This is another interesting pick. They could definitely be in the market for a quarterback, and I think that's probably the best pick for them. So for that reason, I'm going with Matt Corral, quarterback at Ole Miss. Now, this is a very controversial pick as well. I know a lot of people like Malik Willis more because he's faster, but you have to look at fundamentals of a quarterback. How can they read the field? And Matt Corral, we don't really know how he can read the field yet, which is why this is a risky pick. Because in that Ole Miss offense, a lot of the stuff they run is RPOs, so it's kind of one read and done. One read, and if it's not there, you hand it off or keep it yourself. So there's not too much reading the field going on there, but you see potential. I think he'll probably be the best quarterback in this class in the future. Potentially Malik Willis. I think Kenny Pickett will be taken early, but won't be the best quarterback. I think he'll have the highest floor maybe, or Carson Strong, but there's some stuff like that that could happen for sure. And the Giants are back on the board. So this went perfectly because there's no risk of the tackle leaving to the Panthers. You weren't really going to take Matt Corral. I think if they were going to take a quarterback, this is going to sound stupid, by the way, but they'd probably take Desmond Ridder later in the draft, not at 7, just because of the physical talent that they might want to have at quarterback, or Carson Strong because he can just rocket the ball, in my personal opinion, okay? But as we are entering the 9th minute of this video, maybe not because I started it maybe a little bit earlier than you guys are seeing it, but probably. Yeah, so at 7, I'm thinking David Ojabo, edge out of Michigan. Now, the reason I'm going with Ojabo is because of the freakishly high potential that he possesses. Edge out of Michigan, his stats are definitely buffed a little bit because of, AIDAN Hutchinson is the other edge player. So you're going to have the more one-on-ones. But that being said, David Ojabo is still freaky athletic. I think he's going to test probably the best in the combine out of any edge player in the class. And, while new to the position, he does display a plan at times. Saying this from Bengal as well. But, like sometimes he'll plan. He'll go outside, make a little stunt move, and cut back in. Sometimes he'll make like a little spin move, but he spins so clean. It's like he's running with the ball, like as a running back, but he's rushing the passer. Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be amazing. And I think when you have 2 first high round pick, how do I even say that? Like, the higher you have, like, such a high value first round. There we go. High value first round pick, and you have two of them, so you can take a risk on just a high potential guy like David Ojabo. At number 8, this is an interesting one as well. I have the first receiver off the board, Treylon Burks, receiver out of Arkansas. His value has shot up recently because of the performances, not of him, but of not David Ojabo, of Deebo Samuel. Because in this like little playoff run that the Niners had, people realized, as they should have before, like, holy moly, this guy is ridiculous. Now, you might be wondering, hey, why is he even relevant to Treylon Burks? Well, I'm about to tell you. Treylon Burks does everything Deebo Samuel can, but he's 6'3" and not, way shorter than that. So, not way shorter, but I think Deebo Samuel's like 6 foot, something like that. Maybe even shorter. I'm not really sure. I'll need to figure that out at some point. But yeah, Treylon Burks is just a big Deebo Samuel. So imagine just a receiver, running back, basically hybrid, running around. So he's become receiver 1 for me. So yeah, that's the explanation. As we move on to the 9th pick in the draft, Broncos could potentially be a quarterback away. I haven't taken Kenny Pickett, quarterback of the Pitt. Yeah, I mean, I love this pick. Obviously, he can help him out and maybe even lead him to a playoff push next year. That division is starting to get freakishly good. Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to dominate. But then also, like, once the Chargers actually are good with a good quarterback in Justin Herbert, that team could be scary as well. So Denver and the Raiders especially both need to start making a big push. And Broncos, with the highest pick value in that division, need to make use of it. Kenny Pickett, with the highest floor, I think, at the quarterback position in this draft, can definitely help get that done right now. Also, you might be able to get Von Miller back in free agency because I don't think he'll sign again with the Rams. So that's interesting. Jets at 10 could be corner. I haven't taken a corner yet, but I'm actually going with Chris Olave, receiver out of Ohio State. I'm going with a receiver for them for the first time. I just really sort of looked at their receiver situation, and it's like, holy cow, like, it is kind of garbage. Like, Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, and, what's the guy's, Jamison Crowder, they're all great receivers, or, pretty good receivers. Elijah Moore is probably the best one. Jamison Crowder is aging, and Corey Davis just hasn't really looked that good this year. Neither really has Jamison Crowder. So if you can get just another top deep threat receiver for Zach Wilson, help out the Jets, and you low-key, you're starting to look a little bit better. You take a tackle early in the first round. That means you have Becton, Elijah Vera Tucker, and then who did I give him? I think I gave him Evan Neal. Play Evan Neal right tackle. You're starting to build one of the sneaky best offensive lines in the league. And this is interesting, guys. This is the first pick in the history of the Washington Commanders. Yeah, so if you guys haven't heard, today or whenever this video comes out, Washington has changed their name to the Commanders. I think their uniforms look clean. I'll throw a picture of that up on the screen right now. Hopefully, I mean, I think I did, but if it's copyright, I won't. So this would be kind of awkward. But I'm throwing a pic of that. The logo is pretty good. You can see it right there. But there's sort of two versions. There's like the W, and then there's like a badge that says like Washington Commanders. So that's interesting as well. But this is the first pick in their history, and I haven't taken a super high potential guy in Malik Willis, quarterback at Liberty. I think if you give Ron Rivera just a high potential quarterback, I think he'll do loads with him. So I think this is finally the year where they get rid of Taylor Heinicke, or at least play him as a backup. He's had a pretty decent run for these, maybe past year and a half, year and a quarter. He's had a good run, but I think it's time for it to come to an end. Or if you don't want it to come to an end, you can play Malik Willis in, little spurts. But I think he's already better, probably, than Taylor Heinicke. So I like this pick. Next up, we got the Vikings at 12. I was actually going to do Ahmad Gardner here before, but I switched it last second because I thought people would get mad. So I switched to Derek Stingley. I don't think he's CB1 anymore, but I have him going as it here, going in that spot here. So, yeah, not much to say. It's just like great value for the position. Patrick Peterson's aging, and he's probably their best corner. Vikings have terrible corner luck as well. So Derek Stingley will be going there. Yeah, they got a new general manager. I think he came from the Browns. We don't know anything about his drafting style yet, but I assume that if Derek Stingley's available at 12, he will take him. This or Kyle Hamilton, who you're noticing is starting to drop. So maybe that's the player I told you earlier was going to drop. Number 13, I have the Browns taking Garrett Wilson, receiver out of Ohio State. Now, number 13 is usually where the first receiver comes off the board for me. However, here, this is receiver 3. So, yeah, it's very interesting. I've never done that before, but I have him coming off the board. So, not much to say about him. I mean, he's just great hands, great route running, and, give Baker Mayfield no excuses. Give him one more year. Let him do what he can. If he can't do anything with, another receiver, then you might need to consider whether he is the quarterback of the Browns' future, which it's looking like, unfortunately for Baker, it won't be. Number 14, staying in the AFC North, we have the Ravens selecting Tyler Linderbaum, center or interior offensive lineman out of Iowa. Play guard or center hybrid. I think they do need center pretty badly. I don't remember the guy's name, but he came in mid-season and had a pretty good year, so he could also play guard. Yeah, not too much to say. I mean, he's super high potential center. Potentially the Giants could have taken him at 7 and gone double offensive line. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say about him, but, I mean, he's just amazing. Moving on to the Eagles, who have back-to-back picks here. Andrew Booth Jr., cornerback out of Clemson. Yeah, some guys are just slipping in this draft. Andrew Booth slips to 15 here. But yeah, I have the Eagles taking him, snagging him up pretty quickly. I think they need a little bit of corner help. Darius Slay just had a sick year this year, but giving him some help wouldn't hurt. And then back-to-back, I haven't taken George Karlaftis, edge of Purdue. He's fallen a little bit as well. I think his stock has dropped a bit. But Jermaine Johnson in the Draft Network website has actually jumped him. So they finally respected my boy Jermaine Johnson, because people got mad at me before for taking Jermaine Johnson at 15 to the Eagles. Now he's valued at number 12 or something on the website. So, haha, I was right. But yeah, George Karlaftis is a disgusting edge rusher, and he'll help the team a lot, and it's great value at 16. Next up, the Chargers are on the clock. This is interesting. No, it's not. It's Jordan Davis. It's always Jordan Davis. It's literally never been not Jordan Davis. I think I said that poorly, but I don't particularly care because this pick is always the same. I've never changed it since my second mock draft. It's always been Jordan Davis, and I don't even know how he slips this far. I need to start giving him to the Ravens or something, because he goes here every time, and I never change it. So next up we have the Saints, and yeah, let's see the pick. So I have Carson Strong, quarterback of Nevada. Now this is out of context, gonna make no sense. If you guys haven't seen, Sean Payton retired. He's like, nope, I'm out of here. So it's not looking too likely that they're gonna re-sign Jameson Winston at the minute. At the time being, so for the time being. So with that in mind, I don't think Taysom Hill's the guy at all. If there's just a guy that has a rocket of an arm, why not take him? Why not bring him in to Party City in New Orleans? Why not? Why not? He'll help your team quite a bit. Yeah, so I like the pick a ton. And then next up, we have the Eagles back on the clock. And I haven't taken Devin Lloyd, a linebacker out of Utah. He should help this team a ton. He's just a big boy. Sports Blitz, if you're watching this, I like your pick, because he picks him every time. He's just a great fit in the Eagles system. So I like the pick, and I agree with the Sports Blitz. Go check him out. Subscribe to the Sports Blitz. He's almost he's past 1K now. We're on the road to 2K subscribers. So the Sports Blitz, if you're watching this, good job. Congratulations. Steelers are on the clock next at number 20. Kenyon Green, offensive lineman out of Texas A&M. I put offensive line, didn't specify exterior or interior like tackle or guard, because he can play anywhere on that offensive line. So, I think this pick is a really good one. He's just a gritty offensive lineman that can play kind of any way the Steelers need him to. So for that reason, I chose him here at 20. We are at my team, New England Patriots, and now if you haven't noticed, there's a certain player that has fallen. There's a certain position that the Patriots might need in the future, and I promise I didn't do this on purpose. I didn't let this guy fall to my favorite team, but I am going to take him at the pick because I noticed he was there. Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame. If you guys haven't noticed that he didn't come off the board, then you are in the same predicament I was, because what happened was I was, writing my players off the board, pick by pick. Everyone made sense in my head, right? You guys probably will disagree with some, right? But everything made sense in my head. And then I get to my Patriots pick, and I look on my big board, right? I'm crossing players off, and I go, wait a minute. Something ain't right? So I go back down the board, and like my, third player on the board or second player on the board or whatever, because I think Kyle Hamilton's probably going to be like the best player in the class, like just positional value takes him down. I see Kyle Hamilton, and I haven't crossed his name off, and I'm like, wait a minute. How did I not take this guy? And he's just sitting here. So if you guys didn't notice, then like you're in the same boat as me. I've hinted at it a few times. But like he just never left the board. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's the new way I set up this draft, but he just never went off the board. I don't know what happened. But I just never took him. So I promise I didn't do this just to give my favorite team like a great player. I swear to God, you probably won't believe me, but I don't know what else to say. Like, he just fell here, and he's a sick player. Devin McCourty's getting older. Kyle Duggar is a beast, but Adrian Phillips is getting older. Kyle Duggar plays mostly in the box anyway, so Kyle Hamilton should help out a ton. Next up, I have the Raiders taking Jermaine Johnson, edge out of Florida State. This should help a ton. He's been ranked really highly recently, so my boy is getting some respect out here. Let's go, Jermaine. So edge of the Florida State, great player, super gritty on the field. I mean, I've never seen him do the gritty, but he has some grit. He's great. And then we got at number 23, Ahmad Gardner, cornerback out of Cincinnati, going to the Cardinals. I've had this pick quite a bit actually recently, just because I feel like it's a really good fit with a young corner who's actually way taller than some people might think at like 6'3" or something. He's pretty good, pretty tall, pretty strong, pretty fast. Actually, really strong, really fast, really good. But yeah, I think falling to 23, it's amazing value, considering I was going to take him as CB1. And then Cowboys, I keep finding myself doing this recently, but it just works. And it's Trent McDuffie, corner out of Washington, just because of his safety corner hybrid play. He can also play nickel corner, which I think he will play when he gets drafted. I love this guy. I think he's really, really good. He's so good in zone coverage, and he should help this team in Dallas a ton. He's out of Washington, by the way, if I didn't say that. Now we move on to pick number 25. The Bills are here. Look at these teams, by the way. These teams were supposed to be in, like, Super Bowl contention, and they all got out in, like, the divisional round. Like, that's pretty crazy, right? Bills, Titans, Bucks, Packers. Honestly, I don't think anybody thought the Titans were going to do anything. They're like a fake 1 seed. No offense, but like they are. Anyway, here I got Trayvon Walker, edge out of Georgia, going to the Bills. He just always seems to fall here for me, so I'm just going to keep taking him. Like, he just sort of shows up, so I'm going to just take him. I don't really care. If he's here, I'll take him. Then we have Titans at number 26, and I haven't taken NAKOBE Dean, linebacker of Georgia. Fairly easy pick, with their pick value increasing a bit after them losing in the divisional round. They actually get the opportunity to take NAKOBE Dean before the Lions do, who have the Rams pick, so they are now ranked at number 32. And if you're wondering where I got this draft order from, it is from the Draft Network. I always forget what it's called. Draft Network website, off the top of my head. I'll put a link to it in the description. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting, but they move up and they snag him. Then we got Sam Howell, quarterback out of North Carolina University. You know, this could be something like pretty interesting, and I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm gonna restart that. Yeah, this could be really interesting because Tom Brady has just retired, just officially announced his retirement. I put out a video about that like 2 days ago. It doesn't have too many like views on it, so odds are you probably haven't seen it. But yeah, so I'm gonna put a link to that too in the description. Hopefully some people see that. And then yeah, so we got Sam Howell going to the Bucks just because they need a quarterback replacement. That's really all there is to that. Number 28, I have the Packers taking Trevor Penning, tackle out of Northern Iowa. Now this makes probably no sense, but Aaron Rodgers is probably leaving. You know, Devontae could probably leave, so you could take receiver here. But I think a tackle is probably better. You have Bakhtiari on the left, and you could just bring in Trevor Penning, play him on the right, get a nice strong guy, and just don't let him get to Jordan Love, because clearly he has struggled under pressure. He's 0-2 when I've seen him play. Like, he's not great in my opinion. I think they should probably take another quarterback, but for taking somebody at like 16 or whatever they took him, probably isn't worth, taking another one until you give him a legitimate chance. But, we haven't seen much from him yet that's promising, so I think tackle would be great to protect him. Dolphins with the Niners pick are here at 29. What a run they had towards the end of the year. And this is a great value pick for the Dolphins. Jameson Williams, after the subscribe button pops up again, which I didn't know was there. But yeah, please subscribe. Jameson Williams is here. Receiver out of Bama. Yeah, now this is a crazy valued pick. I let him fall a bit because of the ACL tear. I think it'll affect his stock a bit, actually. But this makes the Dolphins one of the best teams receiving threat-wise in the league. They turn into a Chiefs situation where they have, like, Tyreek Hill and Mecole Hardman. Except this time, they have, like, a great, no offense to like Mecole Hardman, right? But he's more of like a swing guy, or on swing routes or like bubble passes, screens. Jameson Williams can really run deep. So now you have Jalen Waddle and Jameson Williams just booking it downfield, and assuming Tua can chuck it down there without Brian Flores in this sort of run and gun offense, I guess. Yeah, I don't really know what to call it. Sort of RPO checkdowns. I mean, I don't know, but now you got hopefully some more free-flowing offense. Send some guys downfield, have some fun. Kansas City I have next, and I haven't taken Cameron Thomas, edge out of San Diego State. This might not make too much sense before I explain it, but Melvin Ingram obviously is not on probably won't be re-signed by the Chiefs with his age. Maybe, but I doubt it. So edge is actually a pretty decently big need for them. So I think it's worth taking Cameron Thomas here. I'd have him as definitely a first-round talent. I think he's really good. And again, my thoughts of him being a first-round talent have been reflected in the Draft Network player rankings, so that's good to see. It's always really satisfying when you make sort of what could be like a hot take or whatever, and something backs it up, and it just feels really good. You know what I'm saying? Bengals up next. This has to be offensive line. I haven't taken this guy a lot when they were further down the board, but now it makes even more sense with positional value. Bernhard Raimann. I think he was from Austria originally, but his size and strength I think teams will fall in love with. And I think the Bengals could take a shot on him because they really need to protect Joe Burrow. He got sacked 50 times this season, almost 50 times, and definitely more than that if you count the playoffs. I think he got sacked 9 times against the Titans. That's kind of embarrassing. That offensive line is like a piece of paper. You gotta, get something better there. And Bernhard Raimann definitely is that. He's a big boy that can protect those guys. Or Joe Burr. Yes, sir, Joe Burr. He is insane, dude. Joe Shiesty is going crazy with it. So is Jamar Chase. Who dey? Let's go, Bengals, all day long. Yeah, I'm definitely rooting for him in the Super Bowl, by the way. And then, Super Bowl champions, the Detroit Lions. Yeah, they have the Rams pick, but, you know. Yeah, I do like the position that they're in here to grab somebody who could be potentially mid-second round value, but or type player. I don't really know exactly how to word this, but I haven't taken DeMarvin Leal, who, like, some guys fell out of the first round in this draft. I'm not exactly sure how either. Some guys just really fell, and DeMarvin Leal just is such a, like, this could be a linebacker also with Christian Harris. Wait. Is that the guy's name? I think it's Christian Harris, the linebacker out of Bama. But yeah, DeMarvin Leal is such a hybrid. He can play edge, interior. He's like a 5-tech, 9-tech even. He's so good. And I think just with his, size and pure force, I think he'll help out that Detroit defensive line even more. Because remember, they took AIDAN Hutchinson in the first round, number 2 as well, which, might make me reconsider this pick a bit. Definitely knew that when I made this pick. Definitely knew I took AIDAN Hutchinson earlier. Yeah, for sure, no problem. Yeah, but yeah, that defensive line becomes a little bit more scary. I'm not gonna lie, it becomes kind of scary, dude. Yeah, with AIDAN Hutchinson, what's the guy's name? Levi Onwuzurike, Aline McNeil, DeMarvin Leal, just big guys, and then DeMarvin Leal can sort of sneak through. So I like it. And that will be the video. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. So that's, great. It would be great if you did. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. See it right there? That subscribe button. That's a subscribe button. If you could click that on my channel, that would be great. You can also click the notification bell. Know whenever I upload. This guy named Victor Gonzalez seems to watch all of my videos somehow the second they come out. Be like him. Click that notification bell. And until next time. See you later.